Hello, perfectly normal sixth graders. My name is Arya Anadi, and I am a magician from ancient India. Today I will be showing you some of the many things in ancient India. Let me bring us there. Yes, we are in ancient India. Now I can show you some of the artifacts from ancient India. And some of these artifacts include the art, and most of the art is religious. And I happen to have a statue, a bronze statue of Shiva Najara in my house. Let me bring it here. This is my statue, and we keep it in my house at all times, and it is treated like an honored guest. Like, we give it gifts, we clean it, we feed it, we make sure it feels at home, as you would if the President of the United States was at your house. And now I can move on to my next location. Yes, we are back, and we are in front of the Buddhist temple. And many temples were in ancient India, and they were works of religious art. Now, here's the Buddhist temple. It was built by Asoka for the Buddha, and it is the Buddhist shrine. It has many paintings and sculptures inside that makes it religious art. Now we will move on to the Hindu temple. Here is the Hindu temple, and it is covered with great detailed carvings and sculptures. Now I'm going to show you some of the paintings and sculptures. And the people who made these paintings and sculptures were very respected. As you can see, there is a painting right here. Now you can find some of these paintings and sculptures in some of the Indian temples. Now let's move on to our next location. Now I will show you the Sanskrit. The Sanskrit was the main language of the Aryans. Many other languages like it were created at the same time and translated to other languages. I have some Sanskrit right here. Now we will move on to our next location. Here I will show you some of the sacred texts. There are two sacred texts. There's Mahabharata and Ramayana. Mahabharata is the longest sacred text, and Ramayana was the first written. Now we will move on to our next location. The story of Ramayana is about a prince named Rama and his wife named Sita, and how Rama was the ideal ruler, and Rama and Sita's relationship was ideal. Now let's move on to our next location. I will show you some of the scientific advances that Gupta scholars made. Here's a picture of some of the Gupta scholars. There is three advances that the Gupta scholars made in metalworking, science, and math. Now we will move on to our next location. Now I will show you some of the metalworking. Here I have a coin that is an example of metalworking and how they could sculpt it so well. In metalworking, they made advances that made them make better weapons, and here are some of those advances. And they figured out how to mix metals to create alloys, and the strongest metal they had was iron, and it was a good trading item for India. Now we will move on to our next location. Now I will show you some of the Indian mathematics. The Indians created the Hindu Arabic numerals, which are the numbers we use today. And these were created by the Gupta scholars. And the Gupta scholars also created zero. Now, math today would not be anything unless we had the zero. Now we will move on to our next location. Some of the other sciences were medicine, they were medical sciences, and the Indians made medicine with plants and animals, and they made inoculation, which is what we call vaccines today, to help people and to fight off disease. Now we will move on to our next location. Now I will show you some of the astronomy of ancient India. The Indians knew of 7 of the 9 planets. They knew that the sun was a star. They also knew that Earth rotated on its axes, and that all of the planets rotate around the sun. And they also knew that they predicted eclipses between the moon and the sun. Now we will move on to our next location. Goodbye, perfectly normal 6th graders.